days until the supposed medical malpractice case drops. I'm very excited for this case because it will be a first malpractice case. But before then, my coaches have been having us do like these little exercises to get ready for it. And so they came up with a 4-page case. And this is a defense closing based off that case that my group came up with. May it please the court, opposing counsel, members of the jury. I stand before you making one thing absolutely clear. My client, Taylor Glow, is innocent of all charges being brought against him. Today, reasonable doubt is 6 inches tall. And throughout tonight's case, you heard testimony from Officer Martinez and Maddie Coons, who both described the suspect as being a staggering 6 feet tall. Well, my client, Taylor Glow, stands at just 5'6". Now that 6-inch difference isn't something minor. It's the difference between innocence and guilt. Throughout tonight's case, not one witness could place my client at the crime scene. Not one piece of physical evidence ties them to the governor's mansion. In fact, all the evidence points to is the fact that Taylor was downtown earlier that evening, but back at their apartment after midnight, leaving them far away from the scene of the crime when the crime occurred. Now, as the defense in tonight's case, we don't hold a burden. However, we still brought forth an alternate suspect. Through Taylor Glow's testimony tonight, you heard talk about a group who used Molotov cocktails to bring attention to their political agendas. Well, this alternate group was never investigated. Now, the prosecution has the burden of proof in tonight's case, and they must prove beyond a reasonable doubt that Taylor Glow is guilty of arson. Well, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, the prosecution has fallen 6 inches short. Because today, reasonable doubt is 6 inches tall. And 6 inches is all it takes to ensure justice. We urge you to consider all the evidence you heard tonight. The clear height discrepancy. The lack of evidence tying my client to the scene of the crime. And the alternate group that was never investigated. Based on all the evidence, we, the defense, are confident that we have given reasonable doubt. Therefore, we ask that you return a verdict in favor of the defense, finding Taylor Glow not guilty of arson. Thank you.